All right, everyone. Welcome to our Six Figures Club meeting. Today is December 17th, and we will be having a meeting on TradeStation. We know that we've already discussed Barchart, so now we have to discuss a reputable trading platform. So we're going to do a walkthrough, an overview of TradeStation. So we're going to get our business out of the way first, and we're going to do our disclaimer. I'm going to read the disclaimer to you guys this time. So this is our disclaimer. The risk of loss in trading futures and or options is substantial, and each investor and or trader must consider whether this is a suitable investment. Past performance, whether actual or indicated by simulated historical tests of strategies, is not indicative of future results. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Dr. Melba, I'm going to turn it over to you so we can proceed.
Good evening, everyone. So this evening, we're going to show you how we place trades on the TradeStation platform for a 1, 2, 3 top trade entry, a 1, 2, 3 bottom trade entry, and also a channel trade entry. And so we will go through the 3 of those and show you actually how to get into TradeStation and how to set up your account and put demo funds into your account. We're going to leave it up to you to figure out how to put your real life funds into your account with TradeStation and with your accountants and things like that. But as far as your demo account, so you can paper trade on a live platform, is what we're going to go over this evening. So first, we're going to start with bringing up TradeStation. And Barbara's going to take us through how to sign into TradeStation and how to get into the section of TradeStation where you actually control the amount of demo money that you're going to use in your demo trades.
Okay, can everyone see my screen? It should say, thanks for visiting. You are now logged out TradeStation.
Yes, we can see your screen. It's very clear.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign into TradeStation, and I'm going to go to Client Center, My Account. And I'm going to get myself logged in. And this is the foundation of TradeStation, where you can deposit your funds, where you can transfer. But where we're going to go at is called Accounts. So I'm going to click on Accounts, and it lists all the accounts that you have in TradeStation, including your simulated account, which is your paper trading, your demo account. So I'm going to click there. And when I do, it lets me know the 3 demo accounts that I have. But for this purpose, we're only going to focus on futures. And so I'm going to check that. And it lets me know my buying power currently. So I'm going to click Next. And when I do, it wants to know, what do I want to do from this point? And so for just demonstration purposes, I'm going to select Reset Balances and Remove All Positions. And you want to select the balance that's pretty much reasonable for you to trade with, because it starts you out with $1 million in your account. And that's typically not reasonable for that anyone, a normal person, would have. So that's why you always come here and reset your account balance. And of course, you're going to choose USD or whatever your country's currency is. And it gives you different amounts that you can do. I like to do custom, and I would say maybe 50,000 is what I would, set it as. And you hit next. Because I have open trades, I'm not going to go to the next screen, but you hit next, and then you select it, you confirm it, and then it's going to set it here, when you come back to this page, you will see the amount that you have in your actual demo account. So that is where you would go. That's one of the first things that you need to do before you consider even putting in a demo trade, is set it to a reasonable amount. All right, back over to you, Dr. Melba.
So when you set the amount, you always have to remember that 10% of that amount is the maximum trades risk that you can actually take on when you're paper trading or live trading. And so if you set it at 50,000, then 10% of that's 5,000. So you cannot go over $5,000 worth of risk. Otherwise, you'll be breaking a rule. Okay, so keep that in mind when you set your amount, that you have to still, although it's demo money, you're still going to treat it like it's live funds, because that's the reason you're paper trading. You're paper trading in order to get the experience to go live, and it becomes like blinking or drinking water to you. It becomes a natural thing where it gets all the jitters and the nerves of doing the actual trading. It gets that out of our system, and it becomes an everyday thing for us. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the charts, and we're going to start with a 1, 2, 3 top.
Okay, let me get that pulled up. And here we go.
So we normally use barchart.com. And if you're to the place of placing a trade, you should already have your free account with barchart.com at this point. And you should also have the ability to mark up your charts the way that you're taught in class on Sundays with our mentors. So we're looking at orange juice March year 2024. And Barbara has marked up a 1, 2, 3 top on orange juice for us. And so we're taught by our mentors to enter at the right below the number 2, which she has it marked at with the pink, which is 353.40. And then our stop loss is set at the number 3, which in this trade is 376.30. And so you subtract those two numbers, and it comes up to 11 points between the two. And that's going to be your trailing stop loss is going to be 11 points. Now, one of the things we're taught by our mentors, Mr. Wright, Mr. Johnny, and Joshua, is we have to write our trades down. And when I first started this, I wrote my trades down on a piece of paper. And when I was at my office during the day and I wanted to look at a piece of paper, it was home on my coffee table. Or when I wrote it down in my office on a sticky and I'm home and I wanted to do the trade, it was sitting in my office on a sticky. So what I started doing, which you're seeing in front of you, we started writing our trades down in the text formation on Barchart and spelling it all out. So no matter where we are on planet Earth and we want to go in that trade, it's all written down for us on barchart.com in our own personal free account. So that's one of the things I will encourage you to start writing out your trades by typing it in text in that actual frame of the technical analysis charts on barchart.com. And so Barbara has written it out here for us. So the entry, she has the stop loss. She's done the math, and she says the trailing stop loss will be 11 points. Okay, so once you know what your entry is, what your stop loss is, and you also should know where your target is, where you're looking to exit the trade. And so she has our target at that green horizontal line, which is 323.50. And so the target is going to be from where you enter at 353.40 to exiting at 323.50 is 29.90 points. And your point value with OJ is $150 dollars per point value. So you multiply those numbers and you come up with a 4,485 profit on this trade. So pretty much you're risking $3,435. No, can't be. 11. The trailing stop loss is 11 points, correct?
Yes, so
Okay.
your
So it's
stop from your
150,
entry to your
150 times
stop
11.
loss is 22.90 points. So you're risking $3,435.
So
But
hold
your
that.
trailing stop is 11 points. You're trailing 11 points every time you move in profit.
So so if your trailing stop loss is 11 points, you're multiplying that 11 points times the 150, and your $1,650 is your risk. So you're risking $1,650 to gain a profit of $4,485. So at this point, that's a pretty good risk to reward ratio. Because we don't do 1-to-1 ratios. We prefer 2-to-1, 3-to-1, 4-to-1, but 1-to-1 is just too high level of a risk where you're going to risk 50% of your account to make 50%. Absolutely not. If it doesn't make good common sense. You can do whatever you want. If you want to be a gambler, or you want to just continue to just be high risk trader, you can. We can't tell you how to trade. We're just telling you the way that we're taught by our mentors. It's best to do 2-to-1, 3-to-1 or greater. 50-50 is just too much of a higher risk for loss in your account. We always say we want to live to trade another day. And so at this point, we're going to toggle between Barchart and TradeStation. So we're going to go into TradeStation and show you how the platform is set up. And can we go into the first page of TradeStation so they can see where to find the symbols when you first logged in?
Yes.
Yeah, because they need to know where the symbols are, because the symbols in Barchart are different from TradeStation sometimes. And so therefore you need to know where to go in TradeStation to find the symbol that you're going to put your trade under to match all of the information that's in Barchart that you just worked up on your charts. So Barbara's going to show us how to find that list of commodities and the symbols. So X out of there for me, Barbara. Just X out of there and it'll bring it up. There you go. So you're going to click under pricing, and then you're going to click futures margin rates. And on the left, you scroll down. Yep, on the left, go up a little bit more to the top. Stop right there. Good. On the left, you're going to see all your different commodities. And then it'll show you to the right, it says symbol root. So that's the symbol you're going to actually put in Barchart. So you're going to look up the commodity, and then you're going to make note of the symbol that matches that commodity in TradeStation. Then it also tells you to the right what your margin and your maintenance is. Because what we've realized that although Barchart has a margin of maintenance, TradeStation's margin of maintenance, they can set theirs different from other platforms. So it's not like a standard margin of maintenance. It may vary depending on which commodity that you're trading with TradeStation. So keep that in mind. Always check TradeStation's margin and maintenance fees so that you're trading with apples to apples and pears to pears. Don't automatically think what's in Barchart is what's coming over to TradeStation. So let's scroll down and look for orange juice under the soft section. Excellent. There we go. So we found frozen orange juice and the symbol is OJ. Okay, very good. So let's go over to the trading platform. Excellent. So on the trading platform, you notice how you have, well, Barbara is set up with two rectangular squares, and she has that are horizontal, and then she has one vertical. So where she just clicked, that's where you click to set up the way you want your platform to look. So it's pretty much whichever one that you find that works for you and works for the way your eyes function, because mine looks a little bit different than Barbara's, and this works for her. So you have to figure out what works for you and set yours up, you know, ideally for you to be able to be comfortable trading on the platform. And so on the right, it shows you, you can click out of there so we can see. Awesome, thank you. So on the right, where her cursor is, you can see the amount that she has in her portfolio. And under her futures, she has 60,941 that she can utilize to trade with, okay? And then over to the left, you're noticing that she has different, like KCH 24, CTH 24. Can you put your cursor on those so they can see under, no, KCH 24 on the bottom? Yeah, just rest it there. See, once you rest your cursor, it'll tell you what it is. That's March Coffee 2024. Move to the next one. Cotton number 2, March 2024. Next one. Cocoa March 2024. So these are different ones that she's looking at or possibly in trades, and she's getting, you know, ready. So to put those, like OJ is the one that we're going to do the 1, 2, 3 top on. So she already has put the OJF 24 in there. So it's frozen orange juice. So she's January 2024. But the OJ that we're going to do is March, correct?
Yes.
So put OJ in there, stop, and yeah, you have to click futures. And then you can find the March, oh, there you go. And see how the system will put OJ March 2024 once you click it. And so it will stay there until you replace it with another chart. Now, the beauty of TradeStation is once you're in an active trade, the trade actually, you can see the trade on the chart right in front of you. You'll see where the trade is currently, where the trade is going, where your target is, and you'll see your trailing stop loss moving with the trade right in front of your eyes, which I absolutely love. And so it's pretty dynamic and robust that way, where you can see and you can look at it and be like, that's when you notice, you're like, where's my stop loss? Because if you don't see a stop loss, chances are it's dropped your stop loss because of a gap that took place in a trading day or something quirky happening. And so it's always good to look and see all the different facets of your trade right in front of you on the actual chart itself, moving in live time when the market is open. And so to actually put the trade in for OJ24 that we discussed before, you would click that green trade button up at the top. Yep, she highlighted it. And so once you highlight and click the green trade button, a majority of the times, OJ or whatever commodity that you've chosen will be in that, in the symbol section. I've done it several times and it comes up blank, you know, and I have to actually type it in again, but you type it in the same way like you typed it in on the chart below. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to click the button that says OCO/OSO. And then you're going to click entry long with bracket. And when you do that, we're demoing a 1, 2, 3 top. So 1, 2, 3 top, you're going to short the market. And so the first thing you have to do is you're going to have to resemble what it is you're doing. You want to sell because you're shorting the market. And then you're setting your target, which you're going to do a buy to, yes, liquidate and get out of the market. And then you're going to do a buy also as your trailing stop loss. And so these are the three things that you have to set up doing a 1, 2, 3 top when you're going to short the market. So when you're putting in your actual entry that you're going to enter the trade at, you're going to put it in as a stop limit. And the reason we're saying put it in as a stop limit is because our mentors teach us that we should have the market come to us. So whatever you want, whatever price that you want to enter the market at, you have to put it in as a stop limit. In TradeStation, if you just put it in as a limit order, it will get the whatever price the market is at or better in the mind of this platform, it will enter you at that point. And pretty much to me, that's a market order. And we're taught not to really do market orders. And so to use this platform and follow the instructions of our mentors, this is what you have to do in order to put in a limit order that is at the price that you have set from your technical analysis. So the entry was, I think, what, 353.40? So let's go back over to a bar chart.
Can everyone see my bar chart?
No, we're in TradeStation.
Okay, hold on, let me share again. How about now? Can everybody see that bar
Yes.
chart? Okay.
So it's 353.40 is our entry right below the number 2. And our trailing stop is 11 points. Is our trailing stop 11 points or 22.90 points?
11 points.
11 points, that's what I thought. Okay. And our target, our exit is 323.50. Excellent. So now let's go back to TradeStation's platform and let's plug all those numbers in the right areas so that you can see where each. Excellent. So you notice how it switched to March sugar? Yeah. So you got to pay attention to your symbols. Otherwise, you'll be entering these these values in for a completely different commodity. So sell, yes, it's we're shorting the market. Beautiful. Okay, and this is going to be a stop limit. Excellent. And the price for entry is 353.40. So you're going to type that in twice. Okay. And then your target is going to be a limit order, and the target is 323.50. And then where it says start market, you're going to switch it to trailing stop. And then you just have to put how many points of a trailing stop. So that's 11 points. And you press send. Press OK. And it's going to pop up this screen. Now, this screen is very important because what it does is allows you to see your trade before you actually, once you press that button send, the trade has the ability to be filled immediately if the market is close to where you want to enter. And so if this setup is not correct, once you press send and it gets filled, you're in the trade. And so we've learned to look at this overview and make sure it's what we want. So we want a sell limit price of 353.40 as our entry, correct? We want our target to exit this trade at 323.50, that's correct. And we want a trailing stop of 11, okay? So one of the things that you need to look at, see how the estimated price of 376.30 is the estimated price of the stop loss. That 376.30 should match pretty close to your stop loss horizontal line on bar chart. So at this point, before we press the send button, I normally would go back to bar chart and look at where my actual red horizontal line is that I had the stop loss that gave me the 11 points between my entry and my stop loss. And when I look at that, if it's close to that 376.30, then I'm within the range of how many points that I wanted to risk as my trailing stop. After I confirm that that number is correct, then I press send. Okay.
And I'm not really going to press send, so I won't
Yeah,
actually
so that
lose
she
the
does
trade.
not end up activating that trade in her account. Excellent. All right, so let's go back to bar chart and look at the 1, 2, 3 bottom.
Let's see, hold on just a moment. Let's get this back up. Okay, here we go.
Excellent.
It's
So
still
you guys,
going
before we go to the
to,
1, 2, 3 bottom, do you notice right there where the red stop loss line is? Can you go back to the 1, 2, 3 top so they can see the stop? Okay. Remember the stop loss where I said to you, before you press send, go back to bar chart and make sure that 376, it was 376.50 in TradeStation, but it's 376.30 in bar chart. That's close enough. Okay. So you always want to make sure that it doesn't say something like 390 or 400, because that means you're, stop a second, Barb, bring the screen down. Yeah. Because if it says 390 or 400, it means that you have a stop loss. Move that red line up to like 400. It means you've created a stop loss all the way up there from your actual entry in TradeStation, and that was not your plan. So you have to make sure that you go back and forth between TradeStation and bar chart to look at your actual trade before you press that send button, to make sure you confirm with your eyes that yes, this is what I want to trade. All my values are incorrectly, have been placed correctly in TradeStation, that I have formulated for my technical analysis on bar chart. And now you can press the send button and wait for the trade to activate if it doesn't activate immediately when you press the send button. Because I've done that where the market's is moving so fast and it's just so volatile. By the time you click that send button, you hear trade filled. And it means you're in that trade already. Very good. So the next thing we're going to go to is the 1, 2, 3 bottom.
and
And
we're doing that on this same chart, orange juice.
oh, excellent.
So let me get it so everybody can see it.
Yep, perfect. Good job, Barbara. Thank you so much. And your pink, number 3, can you change that to red for us? Thank you. Okay, excellent. So just like we did the 1, 2, 3 top, we're gonna show you how to place a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation trade into TradeStation. So we're in barchart.com right now, and we're still in OJ March 2024. And there is a 1, 2, 3 bottom. And this it's in the history of OJ 2024. There's a 1, 2, 3 bottom that we found. And so just to go through the fundamentals of how to place the trade in TradeStation, we're going to use the same chart. So we see the 1, 2, 3 on the bottom of the chart that we're looking at. And so our entry is always right above number 2, and our stop loss is always placed right below number 3. And so we do the math. You subtract the stop loss from the entry, and you came up with 9.70 points. You multiply that by the point value, which is 150, and you come up with 1,455 is your trailing stop loss value. So that's how much you're risking. Okay. And in order to have that risk, you would need to have at least 15,000 in your account in order to risk 10% of that 15,000 with a stop loss that size. So you always should, whenever you do your technical analysis, all of that has to be written out. In order for me to do this trade, I need $15,000 in my trading account in order to do this particular trade. Okay. And so our target is going to be 323.50, and the profit is going to be $9,961.50. So our target is 323.50. Our trailing stop is going to be 9.70, which we round that off to 10 points. Because one of the things with TradeStation doesn't do well with 9.73, 9.25, 9.11. It likes you rounding things off. And so otherwise it won't recognize the value that you're putting in it or the point value that you're putting in there. And so we've learned to round things off to our advantage when we use the platform. And so that's the trailing stop. And then the actual is 247.30 is the actual stop loss. And our entry is 257. Excellent. So we have all of our values now. We have our entry value that we're going to need for TradeStation. We have our actual stop loss value, which is 247.30. We have our trailing stop, which is 9.70. We're going to round that off to 10. A trailing stop loss of 10 points. And then we have our exit at 323.50. Okay, excellent. So let's go back over to TradeStation, and we have all the values we need to actually put in a trade for a 1, 2, 3 bottom, because we're going to go long the market on this trade. Excellent. So we're still on orange juice, March of 2024, highlighted, click trade. Excellent. Then you're going to click OCO/OSO. Then you will click entry long in brackets. And so you're long the market. And so, yes, the setup that is on the screen is perfect for longing the market. So you're going to put in your stop limit, which is your entry. And that number is 257. And you're going to put that in twice. And then down to your limit order, which is your exit. Our exit is 323.50. So you're going to put that number in there. And then next, you're going to set your trailing stop. And the amount is 10. And move your screen over so you can see the trade button. Yep. So click send orders, press OK. And we're going to look at our values. So our entry is 257. That's correct. Our exit is 323.50. That's correct. And our trailing stop is 10 points, which gives us an estimated value of 355.30. And we had 247.30. So 355.30 is different from 247.30. So we're going to click cancel and go back up to the 10 and put a 9 there. So we're going to back it off a little bit. Click send order again. And it says 356.30.
It could be because the market where it's at, it's above the entry price.
Oh, and
For
that's why
example,
it's giving us this.
yeah, so you
I
go by
got
the
it.
current price. So if I put an astronomical number like that, it should come out just
Yeah,
because
we
this
don't
is
want that. Mm-hmm.
it really was geared towards the 1, 2, 3 top formation.
Yeah.
So if I put a number like that, then
Okay.
it would
All
come out
right.
right.
So for demonstration purposes, it's okay. Put the 10 in there. And click send. So for demonstration purposes, that estimated price on the trailing stop, it should say 247.30, 250.30, should be within that range. The 355.30 is because we're using a historical data on a chart that's not a current 1, 2, 3 bottom. And that's why TradeStation has given us a number that's not a value that's applicable to a trade if we were doing an actual 1, 2, 3 bottom. Okay, so we're going to X out of this and we're going to go on to our next trade, which is a channel trade, how to set up a channel trade. So we're going to go back to barchart.com to a chart with a channel trade.
All right, give me just a moment to get there. And I'm going to pull up Russell 2000 March chart is what we're going to use.
So Russell 2000 micro, March 2024. Busy, busy, busy. Okay. So can you highlight that channel with, yeah. Click, yeah, by the T and yeah, click the rectangle. There you go. So that's the channel that we're looking at on this chart, okay? And that we're looking to trade. So what we normally do is we set 2 limit orders. So both of the red is going to be pink. It's not a stop loss. So we're going to set a buy limit order and a sell limit order. Okay. And so, because we don't know whether the market is going to break out to the upside or to the downside when you see a channel. So the way our mentors teach us to trade a channel is you're going to set 2 limit orders, a buy limit order and a sell limit order. And then when the market breaks out to either upside or downside, it will trigger and fill one of those limit orders. And the opposite limit order will serve as a stop loss for you if the market turns and goes in the opposite direction to protect your account. And so at this point, the sell limit order is at a value of 1790.
0.88.
Yeah, I mean, let's put 1791. We'll round it off to 1791. And then the buy limit order
Is 1863.96.
1864. We're going to round that off. Because remember, I told you TradeStation does not like 1863.96. I've tried it several times and it doesn't like it. So I round my numbers off. All righty. And so let's go over to TradeStation and find the Russell 2000 micro. March 24. And of course, we showed you how to go into the pricing area to actually find the symbol in TradeStation because it may be different from the symbol in Barchart. But I'm sure Barbara has already found the symbol for us. And if she has not, she will go over that again for us as she finds it.
Yes, give me just a moment to get back to the screen. Okay, let's see. Hold on, I'm trying to get my screen to come back up for me. Okay, there we go. Can everyone see that?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Excellent.
All right.
Thank you. So do we have Russell 2000? Is that Russell 2000?
This is Russell 2000.
Okay. There we go. Yay, micro E-mini Russell 2000. Beautiful. So we highlight it and click trade. And it populates it for us. Actually, no, we're actually doing,
Yeah, I know we got to put it in two different orders.
yeah, you have to put in two different orders. Yep.
There we go.
There you go. So the market comes up as, so you have the symbol for the Russell 2000 in there. You want one order, and yep, you're gonna put it in as a stop limit because you want an exact number in there. So for this one, we're gonna put in the sell limit, which is 1791. And then that's for sell. So this is where you're gonna click for sell limit, okay?
I'm not
And
actually going to click it because it would put me in.
correct, it would put her in the trade. And so for the next one, for the buy limit, you would click out of there again so they can see where the OCOSO. click on OCOS OSO up in the top, Barbara, so you can see exactly where you're clicking to get that, because after they press send, it's going to be blank again, and they're going to need to go back in again. Yeah. And your limit order is, oh, there is no limit order. It's when you pull it up. Yeah, forgive me, folks. So when you actually click on the symbol on the chart below and you press trade and it populates your symbol in the trade, it brings up your actual limit order. And so for the buy limit, it's 1864. So those are the numbers you will put in for this trade for the buy limit. And then you would click buy, and then it would set your buy limit order. And we've already set the sell limit order. And you just wait to see where the market is going to break out to the upside or the downside. And once that takes place, then you have to set your trailing stop. Okay, so you would go into the system, go into orders, Barbara. You would go into orders and click the, order. In orders, you can see all your orders. You can click the button so we can go through the different, click all orders again. Yep, stay right there, don't move. You can see all your orders, or you can see what your open queued orders that are waiting to be filled. You can see all your filled orders that you filled, or you can see your canceled and rejected orders. Okay, I normally keep mine on open and queued because I want to see what orders I have there that have not been filled, that are waiting to be filled, to make sure that stuff is not sitting there that's old and I'm not paying attention to it because the time has passed where I'm not going to get into trade because it was not filled, it never triggered. And I want to look at my charts to see if the market is just taken off and I got left in the wind because my entry was never, it was never filled. So when I look at this, this is where you're going to see your buy limit order and your sell limit order for your channel formation. And that hasn't been filled yet. When one of them gets filled and you're going to set your trailing stop loss, you have to cancel or press the X for the opposite one so that you take that out of the system. You don't want to just leave something in the system, without you paying attention to it. And then you set your trailing stop at that point, which you figure out how many points you want as your trailing stop, and you enter your trailing stop. And let's show them how to enter the trailing stop for, yeah. So you would hit the OCO, OSO, and you would go down to the bottom where it says, yes, exit one limit and one stop limit. Beautiful. And let's say the market went to the upside, and it did in a straight if you paid attention to the actual bar chart that we looked at. And so you would have to do a sell limit order in order to exit the trade, and you would need to put in a sell order to set your trailing stop. Okay, and so you would fill those values in where you wanted to take profit and get out of the trade. And then whatever your trailing stop that you figured out from your bar chart analysis, as far as how many points you want as a trailing stop, in order to protect your bank account on this trade, you would fill it in the trailing stop. Then you would press send order. And then you have a trailing stop trailing that trade that you're longing the market with this one commodity that we showed you in bar chart. So pretty much that's how you put in a 1, 2, 3 top, 1, 2, 3 bottom, and a channel formation in bar chart. And as you can see, Barbara's chart below, she's in a cocoa demo trade, and she's in a sugar demo trade, okay? And her cocoa trade, she's in the black by $10, and her sugar trade, she's in the red by $548.80. And can we see the cocoa chart?
Yes.
So this is her cocoa chart. And so you can see on the cocoa chart, she's longing the market, and you could see the green where she's going to exit. And then you could see her trailing stop over to the left a little bit. Can you click the M for month over here, Barbara, and put it on D? No, over to the left, where the time frame. Yeah. Put it on D. There you go. So you can see a little bit more clearly. Her chart was, that's how you set whether you're monthly, hourly, a daily view of your chart, your time frame. So you can see where her trailing stop, she has a tight trailing stop right behind where the market is right now. And you can see her limit order to exit the trade where her profit is going to be realized if she doesn't get stopped out of the trade beforehand. So like we said, once you're in an actual trade, you can see it on the actual chart itself in TradeStation. And I just think it's just, I love the dynamicness of that. Let's see the sugar trade also. It's over to your right, to the right of the M2KH. Yeah, there you go. And so that's the sugar trade. And so she is shorting the market on sugar. And that's where her trailing stop is at this point. And she's looking to take profit where you see the green limit order at 18.50. And so that's all we have for you this this session on how to place a trade in TradeStation. And hopefully we've been helpful in helping you realize how to demo trade, and hopefully at some point in time, you will be able to take all the knowledge you're gaining from your demo trading into live trading and making some real serious funds for your trading business.
So does anyone have any questions at this time or comments to
Excellent,
make?
excellent, excellent training. I would pay anything for this. You know, I appreciate it. I'm sure that V appreciates it as well. And we are going to make you all proud.
Oh, we want to
So,
see you guys make some serious funds
yes,
from
we will.
trading, but we have to take baby steps, and the baby steps is demo trading. And
That's right.
then once your confidence is built and you to the point where it's like blinking and drinking water for you, then it's time for you to live trade. Until then, stick to demo and get all the jitters out.
Yeah.
Any questions, V?
I do have a question, and I'd love to echo Miss Thora on that. Honestly, you know, I've said it before, and I hope you know that I'm really genuine in that. I'm in awe of you ladies and how you've managed to learn all of this stuff, including you, Miss Thora, because you're just as great and you understand it all. And I can't wait to get to where you are. But I do have a question. So on your first demo, which I think was the 1, 2, 3 top, and you were just about to do the send the order, and it had all the information on there. And I believe, Dr. Melba, you said you have to go back and check the figures between TradeStation and Barchart.com, and the stop was slightly different between the two. I don't know if you remember that point.
Yes, it was.
What's the margin of error? You know, do you when it's set like that, do you have to go back and start it all and make it exact, or is there a margin that you can work to?
It depends on your risk. Depend on how much. See, you have to remember your trailing stop is how much you want to risk on that trade. So how much margin of error means how much you're risking in that margin of error, okay? And so we try to get it as close to as possible to our number on Barchart, but it very rare does it come out exact, because you have to remember the market is moving. Like right now, the market is closed, so it was static. But when you're doing this, the market is live, it's moving. And so this demo account works on a live moving market. So it's giving you real-time data. And so although we would like to make it exact, it's very difficult to do that. You know, of course, you don't want it to be off by, 7, 8 points, because sometimes that could be, $10,000 depending on what it is you're trading. So you have to pay attention to, if it's off by millifractions, of points, don't sweat the small stuff. But you can't be off where it's actually changing your risk to reward ratio, and it's making you break the rules because you're risking more than 10% because you haven't paid attention to, you understand what I'm saying?
Definitely. So at that
Yeah.
point, when it does go into the uncomfortability
You click cancel.
section, you abandon the trade.
No, you click cancel.
Mhm.
You go back to bar chart, look at the number that you want to be at,
Mhm.
and then you go back to TradeStation and say, like the trade we were doing, the second trade, we set it up so that we're not all over the place on different charts. But ideally, that second trade that we did with the 1, 2, 3 bottom, if it was a current 1, 2, 3 bottom, that number would have reflected a current number. Okay. And so saying all of that to say, you have to be I don't want you to be so fanatical that it has to be down to the 0.0002,
Mhm.
because you'll never get that on TradeStation.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a great platform. We enjoy it, for training purposes. We enjoy it for live trading as well. But you have to be, realistic, as far as putting in your trades and not being neurotic about it all either, and so that's why I'm saying if it's not exact, you round your numbers up, round your numbers down, so you get close to where you want to be within your risk to reward ratio,
Okay.
the best you can do.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
Any more questions or comments?
No, I'm good.
Okay, very
All right.
good.
Well,
All right, so we will end this session, and we will be able to post this for you both to be able to see this in the future, as well as all of our classmates that are in the class with us to be able to learn how to create a demo account in TradeStation and to use TradeStation as a demo platform as well as a live platform. And we're pretty excited